Two guests check into a hotel on the same night. Both get a bed, both stay until morning, and both hand back the key when they leave. One guest pays $20, the other pays $100,000. That is a difference of 5,000 times. So what does the extra $99,980 actually buy? A softer mattress, a larger television, better shampoo? Today, we are starting with the cheapest place to sleep and climbing through every level of hotel room. By the final level, sleeping is almost the least important part of the room. Hotel prices change constantly depending on the city, season, and demand. These are representative price levels and real examples, not fixed prices that apply everywhere. Let's begin at $20. Level 1, $20. At $20, the word room can be generous. In an expensive American or European city, this price will probably buy one bunk in a hostel dorm. In cheaper parts of the world, it may still buy a tiny private room. Either way, the experience is simple. You get a bed, a locker, and perhaps a curtain. The bathroom is usually shared, and the person sleeping a few feet away may be a complete stranger. A hostel keeps prices low by selling the same room several times. Instead of putting one guest in a room, it may fit 6, 8, or even 12 beds inside. The kitchen, bathroom, and lounge are shared as well. This changes the entire business. The hotel needs fewer private bathrooms, fewer televisions, and less furniture for each guest. One cleaner can prepare several beds without turning over several complete rooms. At this level, the hotel is not selling privacy. It is selling access to the city and a safe place to sleep. If you want a door that belongs only to you, the price begins to rise. Level 10, $80. At around $80, we reach the budget motel or economy hotel. This is the room beside the highway near the airport or a few miles outside the center of town. You normally get a private bathroom, a television, air conditioning, and a parking space nearby. The door may open directly onto the parking lot, and breakfast may come from a waffle machine beside the front desk. Nothing is designed to keep you inside for long. There is no spa, no concierge, and probably no restaurant. The lobby is small, the furniture is basic, and the same employee may handle check-in, answer the phone, and refill the coffee. That does not necessarily mean the bed is uncomfortable or the room is dirty. It means the hotel has removed anything that requires extra space or extra labor. The building is simple, the room is quick to clean. Most guests arrive late, sleep, and leave early. At $80, the biggest upgrade is privacy. You now have your own door, your own bathroom, and 4 walls that you do not have to share. But the experience can still be unpredictable. One budget hotel may be perfectly clean, while another looks much better in the photographs than it does in person. The next level sells a solution to that problem. Level 25, $200. At around $200, we reach the standard chain hotel. This is the room most travelers already know. 1 king bed or 2 queens, a desk, a private bathroom, Wi-Fi, and perhaps a small gym or free breakfast downstairs. The room may not be exciting, but that is partly the point. When you book a familiar brand, you have a rough idea of what will be waiting for you. You know what the bed will look like. You expect the front desk to stay open. If something breaks, there should be someone there to fix it. At this level, the hotel is selling predictability. That familiar logo outside the building may matter more than the decoration inside the room. Travelers often pay more because they do not want to gamble on whether an unknown hotel will be clean, safe, or properly managed. But the strange thing about a $200 room is that it does not always cost $200. The same room might cost $140 on a quiet Tuesday and $400 on a busy Saturday. If a major concert, convention, or football game comes to town, the price can rise even higher. Hotels do this for the same reason airlines change ticket prices. A hotel room only has value for one specific night. If room 305 stays empty tonight, the hotel cannot sell last night in room 305 tomorrow. That night is gone forever. So when demand is weak, the hotel lowers the price to fill more rooms. When the building is almost full, the remaining rooms become more expensive. You and the previous guest may sleep in the same bed and receive the same service, yet pay completely different prices. At $200, you are not buying luxury. You are buying a reliable room at the time and place you need it. At the next level, the hotel itself becomes part of the trip. Level 40, $500. At around $500, the room becomes more difficult to judge by size alone. In one city, $500 may buy a large room in a luxury resort. In Manhattan, during a major event, it may buy a fairly ordinary room with a view of another building. Location now matters as much as the bed. A room overlooking the ocean costs more than the same room overlooking the parking lot. A high floor costs more than a low one. A hotel beside a major attraction can charge more than a better room located 30 minutes away. You may also get a larger bathroom, better materials, a robe, a minibar, and a more carefully designed room. Downstairs, there may be several restaurants, a rooftop pool, a spa, a concierge, and a large fitness center. You are no longer renting only the space behind your door. You are paying to use the entire property. Of course, the room rate may not be the end of the bill. Taxes, parking, meals, and resort charges can push the real cost much higher. Still, this is the point where the hotel can become part of the destination. Guests may spend the afternoon at the pool, eat dinner downstairs, and return to the room without ever leaving the building. At $500, the hotel is selling its address, its view, and everything surrounding the room. Spend 3 times more, and the biggest difference is no longer the building. It is the number of people waiting to help you. Level 60, $1,500. At around $1,500, we reach a genuine luxury suite. Now the bedroom and living room begin to separate. There may be a dining table, a dressing room, a larger bathroom, and enough space to hold a meeting without anyone sitting on the bed. The room is usually on a higher floor with a better view, but expensive furniture and marble bathrooms are only part of what makes the stay luxurious. The real difference is labor. Someone carries your bags upstairs. Someone brings food to the room. Someone prepares the bed in the evening. A concierge finds a restaurant reservation, arranges transportation, or solves a problem before it reaches you. Behind one luxury stay is a large group of people the guest may barely see. Housekeepers, cooks, maintenance workers, doormen, drivers, reservation agents, and managers. At a cheap hotel, the guest adjusts to the hotel. Breakfast ends when it ends. Cleaning happens when staff are available, and special requests may simply not be possible. At a luxury hotel, the hotel tries to adjust itself around the guest. That is what much of the $1,500 pays for. Not a bed that is 20 times more comfortable, but people who remove small problems before they interrupt the trip. This suite is still designed mainly for the person sleeping there. The next one is designed for everyone who might come to visit. Level 80, $5,000. At around $5,000, we reach the presidential suite. Despite the name, a president does not need to have stayed there. It is usually the hotel's largest conventional suite and the room reserved for celebrities, executives, wedding parties, and important guests. The space may include several bedrooms, a dining room, an office, a kitchen, and separate entrances for staff. Additional connecting rooms can be added for assistants, family members, or security. The guest can hold a private dinner, meet with a business team, or receive visitors without bringing them into the bedroom. Security can control who enters, while staff deliver food through another door. At this point, the suite is no longer just a place to sleep, it becomes a private headquarters. The hotel also gives up a large amount of space to create it. The area occupied by one presidential suite could often hold several standard rooms. Those ordinary rooms could be sold every night. So if the hotel combines them into one enormous suite, it needs to earn much more from the guests staying there. Not every presidential suite is sold at full price every night. A hotel may upgrade an important guest or use the suite to attract an event that will spend money elsewhere in the building. The room may bring in $5,000, but the dinner, party, wedding, or casino spending around that guest can be worth much more. At this level, the room is becoming a business tool. At $25,000, it becomes a private attraction. Level 95, $25,000. At this price, a larger bathroom and a nicer view are no longer enough. The suite needs something that people can understand from a single photograph. At the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, $25,000 represents the value of one night in the Hardwood Suite. The name is literal. Inside the suite is a private basketball court. The court is not somewhere else in the hotel. It is inside the 10,000 square foot two-story suite, along with a professional locker room, a scoreboard, a full bar, a pool table, and a hidden whiskey room. The suite has 2 king beds and 3 additional Murphy beds, with room for up to 10 guests. It also comes with butler service, airport transportation, and VIP access around the resort. The same hotel has another suite with 2 professional bowling lanes in the middle of the living room. These rooms are not really competing with normal hotel rooms. They are competing with private clubs, event spaces, and entertainment venues. A guest can invite friends, host a party, play basketball, eat, drink, and sleep without entering a public area of the hotel. At $25,000, the room is no longer something you use after the main event. The room is the main event, and it still costs only 1/4 of the final level. Level 100, $100,000. At the top of the ladder is the Empathy Suite at the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas. The Palms currently values one night in this suite at $100,000 as part of its Epic Experience package. When the suite originally opened, it was offered at $100,000 per night with a 2-night minimum. So checking in could mean committing $200,000 before the stay even began. The suite covers more than 9,000 square feet across 2 floors. It has 2 king bedrooms, several large entertaining areas, a private pool, a terrace, and floor-to-ceiling views of the Las Vegas Strip. But size alone does not explain the price. The entire suite was designed around the work of British artist Damien Hirst. The Palms has said it contains more than $30 million worth of his art. 2 bull sharks are suspended in formaldehyde beside the game room. A medicine cabinet is filled with diamonds. Hirst's butterfly designs appear on the furniture, walls, and the pool overlooking the city. The guest is not simply staying beside valuable art. The guest is staying inside the exhibition. At its launch, the experience also included 24-hour butler service, a chauffeured car, a private art tour, VIP access around the resort, and $10,000 in resort credit. But the strangest part of a $100,000 hotel room is that the listed price is not always the main point. The Empathy Suite was also offered to casino guests with extremely large lines of credit. A high roller might receive access to the suite because the casino expects to earn far more from that guest downstairs. From the casino's point of view, giving away an expensive room can make perfect sense if it keeps a valuable gambler inside the building. The $100,000 price also turns the suite into advertising. Millions of people who will never stay there still watch videos, read articles, and learn the name of the hotel. A normal room creates 1 booking. A room this extreme can promote the entire resort. At this level, the hotel is not selling better sleep. It is selling privacy, status, entertainment, art, and a story almost nobody else can tell. That brings us back to the beginning. At $20, you bought a bed, At $80, you bought a private door. At $200, you bought predictability. At $500, you bought the location and the hotel around you. At $1,500, you bought space and personal service. At $5,000, you bought a private headquarters. At $25,000, you bought your own entertainment venue. And at $100,000, you bought one of the rarest experiences the hotel could create. Every guest still checks out the next morning. No mattress is 5,000 times better to sleep on than another. The higher the price climbs, the less of it goes towards sleep. Eventually, the bed becomes the smallest part of what you are buying.